Today we're checking out just how easy it is to install WordPress on your local machine in a matter of seconds. For this we're going to be using LocalWP, previously known as Local by Flywheel. This is a really simple environment to be able to quickly and easily install WordPress. So let's go through the entire process of downloading, installing and getting up and running with it. So if you head over to localwp.com, link in the description, all you need to do is go and choose the download for free. You can then choose the platform. In this example, I'm using a Mac Apple Silicon, but you download whichever is the right version for you. We'll choose that. You can pop your information in here. Once you put your details in, just click on Get Now, and that will download a copy ready to install. Then once you've installed the app, you're going to go through the terms of service and just basically sign up. So we'll say, I agree. Now, bear in mind, this is still totally free. You just have to create an account, which unfortunately is just one of the caveats we've got with it. But it's a free account, so all we're going to do is click on Create Free Account, choose whichever account you want to connect with, or just use email if you want to, fill out your relevant details, and you are good to go. Once the email comes through, just simply verify your address, and you are set up. Now, once your account is set up, you've got a couple more questions to answer, but I'm going to leave these all set to no. I don't want reporting and things like that set on. Once you've set everything up, though, this is what you're going to see. This is basically local. If you look on the left-hand side, there's a couple of different options, but the main thing we want to do is create a new site. We'll click the option, and then we get a couple of different ways in which we can create a new site. Do you want to just basically create a plain old vanilla site, which is what we're going to do, or you can use a blueprint. Now, blueprint is a pretty cool way, but I don't want to deal with that in this particular video. Just know that a blueprint basically allows you to set up things like themes, plugins, and so on, and then you can just run that, and you have an exact copy of it just by using the Create a Blueprint option. We're going to go, though, for this example, with just to create a simple, plain old site. You can also upload a zip, but again, I don't want to cover that in this video. Click on Continue. Going to give it a name. If you want to, you've also got some advanced options. If you open this up, you can set things like the domain name and so on. We're going to leave those as they are. They're perfectly fine with the default options. Click Continue. Then we can choose the environment. Now, the environment is basically just the setup you want to use, the different versions of the different tools. Now, if you are new to working with WordPress, just go with preferred. It's perfectly fine. Everything's going to be up and running for you, no problem. However, if you're a little bit more tech savvy and you want to customize or tweak this to get exactly the setup you want, maybe you're testing things out on a server that has maybe newer or older versions of PHP and so on, where you can set it up inside here. So you can see we can choose various different versions, the web server between Nginx and Apache, and the type of database we want to use. We're going to go with preferred though. Click on Continue, and now we can just pop in a username and a password for our new site. Again, you've got some advanced options. Is this a multi-site? It's not in this example, but if you wanted to set one up, you could do here, and we'll click Add Site. That's now going to go and set everything up, download a copy of WordPress, get everything configured for us, and after a minute or two, everything will be ready for us to start working with our new WordPress website. And there we go, less than a minute, everything is set up. So let's take a quick look at the local interface. We've already seen there's some options on the left-hand side, and we'll take a look at those in a moment. What we're starting off with, though, is the local sites. This will list all of the sites we have created. So if we want to create another site, we can simply click on the plus, go through exactly the same wizard as before, and then we can start adding more sites in should we want to. So you'll find this will start to populate out as you get more sites set up for testing, for development, whatever. Then you've got the main area, which breaks down all the different options and some of the tools and functions we've got available. I'm not going to go over all of these because, to be honest, most of these can be left as they are because you've probably set most of these up during the initial setup phase. But you can see it shows us the site domain, the SSL, the web server that's being used. So you can see Nginx as opposed to Apache and so on. You can, if you want to, change your PHP version. So again, if you wanted to test an older version or a newer version for whatever reason, testing plugins, making sure that everything works before you roll it out to an actual live site, you could set that up here. Again, you can see the database is all set up. We can't change that at this point. That's kind of locked in. And then we've got the one-click admin, which is super useful. What this means is instead of us having to remember the username and password we set up for this particular account, we can just simply select that option, choose the user we want if we've got multiple users here. And now whenever we open the site up, we'll automatically be logged in with those credentials. Just makes the whole process of logging in a one-click job done. Your WordPress version, if it's multi-site and so on, and if you want debugging. Again, we're not going to worry about that. Then if we want to, we can go and take a look at the site itself. So we click to open site. You can see that opens it up, and as you saw there, it is like that. The site is open and ready to go. So one of the benefits of having this set up locally is that everything is incredibly fast because you're not sending anything to the internet and having to wait for it to come back and so on. So we click another page, straight to it. Go down to one of our sections, for example, you can click, you'll go straight to it. It's incredibly quick and easy. Now, if we want to go and log into the admin, because we've got the one-click admin selected, we click WP admin, and it takes us straight in, logged in straight away. We can immediately start doing whatever we need to. Again, incredibly quick and easy to start working with. Now, whenever you create a site using local, it's going to store it on your actual computer itself. So if you want to open up that folder and take a look at the files, you maybe want to go in and change something, upload something manually, whatever you kind of want to do, you can use the option to go to site folder. You click and that'll take you straight through, and you can see there's our new folder. We could open up, there's our app, there's our public, and all of our files inside there. Any log files, you can see we've got those available. So great if you are debugging, you want to test things out, you want to find out where problems lie, you have access to all those options and all those files directly on your local machine. So it's a really quick and easy way of working. Again, we've got database options, so you can come in if we want to edit and play about with the database. We can open this up inside its own editor, and there's our WordPress database. So again, if you want to fault find, delete things, whatever you want to do, you have all those options available. Very similar to like PHP My Admin. If you've ever used that, you're going to feel very familiar with this. Finally, in this section, we've got tools. If we open this up, you can see you've got some options here for things like handling mail and so if you want to test your mail service out. Again, not going to worry about that side of things. Okay, so we've seen all the key options. You can also stop and start any site or sites you have running. You can see currently we have just the one site, and it tells us one site is running, but we could, if we wanted to, say stop all. So if we had multiple sites running, we could stop them all in one go, or we can simply stop just this site by using the option. You click, that site will then stop, and then we don't have access to it anymore. All we need to do to get access again though is click start site, and that will start it up. We can go ahead and access the site in exactly the same way as I've just shown you. Now, there's tons and tons more options inside here, and I'll quickly show you some of them because I don't want to go into too much detail, because I think if you are new to this, this is more than enough now to get you up and running and start working. But you'll notice next to any site you have open, you've got these three dots. You click, there's a bunch more options inside here, a lot of which are the same as what you see on the interface, like opening the site, opening the admin and so on. But you can clone a site, you can create your blueprint from here and so on. You can group sites together as well, so you may be working on ones for clients, for your own projects, however you want to set things up. But having the ability to group them together means that organization is really simple. As you can see, there's tons of options here. Now, if we take a look at the left-hand side, there's more options here as well. You can click on Connect, for example, and if you are using either WP Engine or you're using Flywheel, you can connect directly to their servers, and then you can push and pull. In other words, you can upload and download sites directly from inside local. If you're not using those, you don't get quite as much freedom, but you can still migrate your sites away from local. It's very easy to do. And if you want a video on how to do that, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll look at creating something if enough people are interested. Next up, talking about blueprints, you can see this is where all our blueprints will be saved. So if we have a blueprint, it'll be inside here, and then you can create a site directly from your blueprints in a matter of seconds again. You've also got some add-ons, or kind of like plugins inside here. There's not a lot, but there are some useful ones here if you want to use them. So for example, you've got an image optimizer. Again, remember, these are going to be done on your local server, so they should be incredibly quick. If you want to optimize your images before you upload your site, you could do it using this particular add-on. And as you can see, there's lots of other options here, things like checking links to make sure everything's okay, cloud backups and so on. If you want notes, you can have that as well. So take a look. One of the cool things though is if you are making changes to your CSS file, this will automatically, using the instant reload your browser whenever you save that CSS file, so you don't have to wonder, why are my changes not showing up? Well, that's probably why you haven't refreshed, so therefore they're not going to show up. So that's pretty cool, and to install any of these is simple and painless. You click on it, you can read any information about it, any release notes and so on, and you can just click on install add-on, and that will now install that. And then you can say enable it and relaunch, and then you'll have access to that function just simply by clicking that option. So there really isn't much more we need to cover when it comes to Local by Flywheel. But if you want to take a look at an alternative option by WordPress themselves, you can check out this video next and take a look at Studio by WordPress, which does something very similar.